have the sad passing of Terry Venables, which I'll come back onto later, and a narrow defeat against Norwich. But then we had the crazy roller coaster affair against Stoke. I don't even know where we're going to start to describe that one. Undoubtedly the most exciting QPR match we've had for well over a year. It's Preston away that we'll have to preview shortly. And like I said, we're going to come back to Terry Venables. But it does feel like we have to start with that win against Stoke. What a match after all the rubbish we've all sat through over the last 12 months. An amazing game. And for me, it feels like it could be one of the most important wins of many recent years. Just feels massive, doesn't it, Dave?
Yeah, the win was absolutely massive. I didn't care how it come, whether it was a 1-0 boring game, didn't matter. But what a incredible game. I mean, first half, even though when we were winning, I didn't think we were playing that well. I thought Stoke were probably the better side, but we had so many chances to kill them off first half. I mean, the obvious one is the Dykes one. I mean, that's a pivotal moment, isn't it? Clean through, you've got to score. Here's it straight at the keeper, and they break and equalise. You think, right, here we go. And then when they went 2-1 up, we just thought, I just can't see how we're going to score 3 goals and come back in it. But that last 15, 20 minutes, we were absolutely superb. And for me, the credit goes to the manager. He made positive changes, and those changes made a difference. Clark Salter was excellent when he come on. Larkesh has made the 3rd goal. I thought Kelman and Willett done well. Cannon was really good. He has won us that game because that was drifting and going nowhere at 2-1. And yeah, what a win.
Yeah, it was. It was very, very good for the manager. But to see the players come on and trying to make an impact, Larkesh in particular, like you say, for that 3rd goal, he was just scrapping and scrapping like his life depended on it. That is what fans want to see from QPR teams, isn't it? And it just feels like, I say, on every level, it's such a big win because we've got the home record off our back. Thank God we'll never have to mention that again because it was like a once in a generation home record. The new manager, everyone's going to be praising him, but he gets a win in front of the home crowd, builds favour for him, momentum. The players get a massive boost of confidence. And on top of that, we score 4 goals to obliterate all of the terrible scoring stats. It does feel like it's just win-win on every level.
Yeah, it's a massive night for us, isn't it? You know, getting the goals as well, because we keep saying it. Where are goals coming from? Especially after Saturday, I think we was expecting to be talking about where we're going to score goals from. To score 4, it drives me mad really when you see that chance Dykes missed and the chance Smith missed. Then you see the goal that Dykes scored. It's like, how can you do that, but then miss that chance? It was incredible. But you know, they just kept going. You've got to credit them. They just kept going. They didn't give up. They looked a bit lost until he made the changes, and then they just kept pushing and pushing. And I mean that the 4th goal, the killer 4th goal, I think is massive for us because Willock hasn't looked great, has he, for a year or so now. That's going to be a massive boost for him. You know, he took it really well, and you just think maybe this is the start. I think I'm right in saying it's a year ago today that Mick Beale left. So maybe we're coming out of that dreadful year and it's going to be a new start for us.
Yeah, you think of the confidence for Willock as well. Another positive. Dykes getting 2 goals. You're right to mention Dykes' miss. I mean, Smith had the bad miss as well in the first half. But for Dykes, I thought the same as you. How does he score the 2nd goal, which is a technically fantastic goal? Like at any level, that's an amazing goal, but misses the one-on-one. And he even had the confidence to take the ball off Colback for the penalty because Colback, to me, I thought he was going to take it, and then Dykes goes over and takes it off him. So he does have this level of confidence in himself, but can then miss chances. He's still such a strange entity, isn't he?
He is. And well, I mean, I don't know about anyone else. As soon as he went through, I just thought he ain't going to score. Never had a moment's faith that he was going to score. And he could have gone over the keeper, round the keeper, it straight at him. He just thought, oh, here we go. And then for them to equalise straight away, it was like, oh, typical QPR, we're going to get beat now, aren't we? But fair play to him. He doesn't let it affect him. And that was a brilliant goal, the 2nd goal that he scored. And he almost scored another one at 1-0 as well. He had one that was deflected wide. You know, he's done well. And, you know, hopefully he can go on a bit of a run now. You know, we always say about him how long he goes without goals. He needs to get on a bit of a run because we all talk about we need new strikers. There's another month till the window opens and there's no money to spend. We're relying on him, really. And, you know, hopefully this is the start of something for him.
I thought he should have gone round the goalkeeper because he had momentum. The keeper was coming forwards. It was just one of those games as well where, like you said, it was 1-1 all of a sudden after that chance, and I was thinking, geez, if we don't win this game from here, everyone's going to be talking about that moment. We're still talking about it, but we can at least talk about it in jest now. It would have been horrific, and even at 2-1, with just over 10 minutes left and Chair hit the post, I was sat thinking, we are going down if we can't get a win out of this game. Where did it come from? Because it did feel like we were huffing and puffing, and like we said, the manager made the changes, but it still came out of nowhere, didn't it, to go 4-2?
Yeah, I couldn't see where a goal was coming from, but I do think the changes had a big impact. Cannon played really well when he come on. He was getting in behind, but not quite getting the crosses right. Kept winning corners, and then every corner was abysmal. I'll gloss over the corners for now, but yeah, I think you're right. It was the one-way chair at the post, and it just seemed to lift the crown and spark things. And we scored straight afterwards. It was like, right, let's go at them, and they were really good after that. I thought they attacked really well. And massive credit to Larkesh because he got a lot of stick for that Blackburn game, which is his first start, and he had a terrible game, really, didn't he? But he come on and he fought, and he could have just let the guy run it out for a goal kick, but he won it back once, won it back again, and then picked out the cross as well. That was superb, and that's won us the game. Once you got 3-2 up, they had a lot to do then, Stoke, didn't they? To be honest, they took all their forwards off. I mean, I was expecting about 2 minutes injury time with all the time wasted because we were losing. As soon as we scored, it was 7 minutes, wasn't it? But yeah, it's just a massive win for us, I think.
Yeah, the manager deserves credit as well because when you think about it, he ended the game with, I think, Pal and Chair in central midfield, and I thought Chair was superb the last 10 minutes. He was actually controlling the game, and maybe that's something the manager's going to look at and think, wow, maybe he should be playing more central and over on the left. Certainly gives him food for thought, but it does feel like a sliding doors moment even within the match because we talked about it in last week's show. Stoke hadn't even scored for 3 games. They'd been dominated at home at the weekend. If we'd lost that game after they only had 10 men as well to get, I think the club would have been in a really dark place. So to be on the other side of that, it's amazing. And it's just a shame we can't dwell on it for too long because Preston straight away, they were going to have little rest before it. And it's almost exactly a year ago when Neil Cripsley went to Preston in his first game in charge and won 1-0. At that point, we then didn't win for 3 months. Finally, now we've got our first win after 3 months again. Preston themselves had a great start to the season, had an unbeaten start, but then recently went 7 games without a win. Then they got back-to-back wins, followed by back-to-back defeats, including a massive 4-0 thumping away at Middlesbrough midweek. They're another hard side to get a read on when you think of it like that.
Yeah, like I say, they started so well, but they've been a bit hit and miss recently, haven't they? And you've got to take momentum from this game into that one. 90% of the championship they're all kind of the same sort of level of team. They're on their day, they can beat anyone, and you can struggle against them. But most teams are beatable in this league. I think we should go there with a lot of confidence after tonight. We showed a lot. We showed a lot of fight, and we've been playing pretty well recently. Even though we lost at Norwich weekend, I thought they played reasonably well in the game. Deserved at least a point out of the game, and maybe getting that one win is surely going to boost them on and give them a massive boost. If they can back it up with get a draw at Preston or win at Preston, things are going to look a lot better. That big gap that you saw. I mean, I was worried when they went 2-1 up tonight. I was like, oh, is that going to be 9 points within a couple of days? But now we've brought it down. You're in a position where you can, get out of it in the next few weeks.
Yeah, it did. That's why it feels like such a massive win because we were already 9 points behind Plymouth. It cuts it to 6. You put in pressure on Huddersfield for their games. Massive, massive win. Preston, I expect probably to be mid-table once things settle down. They're just not consistent enough. Probably a little bit like QPR. Good first 11, but just struggle with squad depth. But after losing 4-0, is that a good time to face them or a bad time to face them?
We've got to look at it from us. It's a good time to play after you've just won like that. You've got to build on that momentum. If we lost tonight, it doesn't matter who we're playing weekend. It's like, oh God, it's doomsday. But you've got to build on that. It's got to be a feel-good factor around it now. It's 4 games now that we've had under Cifuentes, and it's got better, a little bit better each game, I think. I mean, the amount of chances we create tonight, it's more tonight than we've done all season, I think. It was a lot better, and they can't get carried away with it and think, that's it, we're sorted now. They've got to keep that level. But there's no reason why they can't go there and get a result. Difficult with the time in between the games. There's only a couple of days in there till Friday. So that's not ideal. But they've got to go there and attack the game and try and win. They shouldn't be scared of Preston. On their day, they're a good team, but they're not world beaters like everyone in this league.
No, I agree. It does. If our players can harness the confidence that surely all the QPR fan base are feeling and just take it into the game, they should come out of the traps flying, hopefully. You mentioned there that it is such a quick turnaround. Fatigues could play a part. Who did you think was struggling? Even though the manager, I felt he did rotate it quite well and withdrew a few players. There's going to be some tired legs, though.
Yeah, I'm sure there will be. I mean, I'd like if fit, I'd like to see Clark sort of start the game on Friday. I thought Dunn. I don't want to be too negative, but I thought Dunn was poor again tonight. At fault, I thought for the chance just before they scored. Um, so I'd like to see him start if he's fit. I think it made a big difference in Cannon as well. I thought Kakai did all right tonight, but I'd like to see Cannon start. But other than that, I can't see too many changes really. I thought Smith did pretty well from the start of the game. I think that might be a good sub to do, like start Smith at the game and then bring Willock on last 20 minutes, half hour. But Willock did pretty well when he come on. But yeah, I think Clark Salter and Cannon are probably the two changes I'd be looking to make if they're fit.
Yeah, I agree. Dunn was also questionable against Norwich for their goal.
Mm,
He looked good in his cameo, didn't he, Clark Salter? So you assume that's probably now a permanent change for as long as
yeah.
Clark Salter can stay fit. Cannon, he was playing like a winger, wasn't he? I mean, it was easier, probably was against 10 men. But going forward, he looked absolutely superb. So, like I say, hopefully he'll keep his place. Chris Willock on the bench is thinking there, though, because he's going to be, his confidence is going to be through the roof, hopefully, for his goal. That was just a great player to have got that last goal, I thought.
Yeah, it's a difficult one because you don't know what he'll do, how he'll play it. I think Smith's pace on the break is good for us, and he used it really well in the first half. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him start in an away game. But yeah, I mean, Willock's played himself in contention now. I think he's done all right since we've had the managerial change. But getting that goal, hopefully, it really pushes him on because we know how good he can be, and he's far better than he's shown the last year.
Yeah, hopefully he can be just like I say, hopefully he can just go through a few levels and just get some
Mm.
confidence in his own abilities because he's a fantastic player, isn't he? I suppose any player there's maybe a question mark who did 90 minutes is Lyndon Dykes, but we've got a week off after this game, so hopefully he can just get as much minutes as he can
Mm.
on Friday night and go from there. Now, Terry Venables, we have to mention him now. It's such a shame that he's gone. QPR manager, legend, player in the 60s, 70s. Now, he's before my time, but I'm well aware of how much of a legend he is for QPR. I saw a recent interview with John Gregory where he described Terry Venables as the Pep Guardiola of his time. Where does he rank for you, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, as a manager, the best of my lifetime by quite a long way, and probably one of my best ever. I think probably Alex Stock's probably the only one I think that comes close. I mean, as a player, he come in after we got relegated from the top flight, and he was like an experienced player when he come in. Similar to when Ray Wilkins come in the early 90s. He kind of guided a lot of players on. He brought Jerry Francis through, Stan Bowles, and left before the 76 team. So he was a really important player for us. But as a manager, he was really incredible. I mean, I used to go as a kid, and every game we seemed to win 5-6-0. I mean, I'm a bit of a glory hunter, really. All went wrong when he left, but they were just fantastic. They were just so organised, and you think he come in. He didn't come into like a really good QPR team. He came into one struggling in the second division, kept them up. A year later, in the FA Cup final, which we should have won. A year later, we won the league, and then qualifying for Europe. Anyone who was around then will tell you that if he hadn't have gone, I mean, obviously Barcelona come calling you go. I mean, I don't blame him, but if he'd have stayed, we genuinely had a chance of winning the league. And it sounds mad when you think about it now, from where we are today. But they had a real chance of winning the league back then. They were a really good side, and it was a real sliding doors moment when he left. It was like, oh, we went the wrong way. We made some bad choices, and then Jim Gregory left not long after. But he's up there. I mean, he was so ahead of his time. For me, he's one of the best England managers I've ever seen as well. But yeah, such a loss, but such a legend at QPR. Unbelievable man.
Yeah, I totally agree with everything you've said, and we'll almost probably never ever see another QPR manager poached by Barcelona. If we
No.
do, then we're going to be very happy for it to be the case because it means we're obviously doing very well, and he'll never ever be forgotten by QPR fans. Back to the current team then. Can we make it back-to-back wins? We've only done that once in a year. Preston away. what do you really think is going to happen in this one, Dave?
Do you know? Well, after tonight, I fancy us. I think from the position we were in with 20 minutes to go. I mean, in my head, I was like, right, we're down. That's it. It's over. To turn that round and win from that position and win as well as we did, I just think we've got to build on it and go and get a result there. We've got a reasonable record at Preston. We've won twice there in recent years, I think. I think we can go there and get something. Preston are a good team on their day, but I fancy us. I think we'll go there and get a win, maybe 2-1.
Yeah, I think surely we said it. The players have to be on cloud nine. Now, I think this will be you can't get a better feeling than a match like that as well. The way they've come back to win. We haven't even come back from behind. I know we were ahead in the game to begin with, but we still had to then come from behind. We haven't done that for so long. It's got to build some momentum for the club. I would say it probably makes a draw a better result than it would have been if we'd lost. If we'd lost this game, we'd have probably needed to go there and win. But hopefully we can make it back-to-back wins, because again, think about the feeling of that. If they can get back-to-back wins, it happens so rarely for us. All I hope is that we don't all come back down to earth with a bang, because it's been so long for QPR waiting for a win. Like I say, it was nearly 3 months. It's such a good feeling, isn't it? And it'll be back to Loftus Road next week when we face Hull. Hopefully we are all still feeling the same way we are now after we played Preston. Hopefully we can bring you another happy podcast next week. It's been the first one for a while. We hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and come on you R's.
We know who we are. You know who we are. We are QPR.